we welcome you here today.
Thank you.
Tell me, Gordon Brown, the Prime Minister, has said that he would like to host talks between you and the rebels and Janjaweed, etc. Do you welcome that idea? Would you like those talks to take place?
Well, first, thank you for the opportunity. Actually, in the last 2 days, we have been talking to the British officials over this, and we have been looking at the various components of it. The other players, the stand of the rebels, the Sudan government. So we said that we have no problem considering the initiative, but we would like to know more details on how it goes and how it links with other initiatives. And we agreed to continue talking about it.
I see. So that's very clear. So nothing has been decided as yet, but the talks about the talks are continuing.
Sure. You are right.
They are continuing. Your foreign minister said on one occasion, our position is clear that what has been going on is not a genocide. This is an American attempt to use a humanitarian situation for a political agenda. President Bush himself said, for too long the people of Darfur have suffered at the hands of a government that is complicit in the bombing, murder and rape of innocent citizens. My administration has called these actions by their rightful name, genocide. Is the word genocide, I mean it's a terrible word, is it accurate?
Definitely it's not, and I will even dare to say that they know it is not right, it's not correct, there is no genocide in Darfur.
Why do you say that?
I say that because there is no genocide on the ground, and I say that because I know these accusations are political, and they have to do a lot between the tense relation between Sudan and US.
Well, the UN say 300,000 people have been killed in Darfur. Do you dispute that figure?
For sure. Definitely we are very positive that this number is exaggerated. No single agency, UN agency or NGO has presented any evidence that makes these numbers countable or meaningful. We think the number is far less than this, and we are asking those who are talking about these numbers to sit down with us on the table and share information.
And what about the point that people are making about Janjaweed and so on? Richard Williamson, testimony to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, said the government supported Janjaweed militias that are responsible for most of the attacks on civilians have been neither disarmed nor controlled as outlined in the Darfur peace agreement.
First of all, the term Janjaweed is a very loose term. It has different meanings to different people. For us in Sudan, the Sudan government, if it means those bandits and people who are not part of the government system, that is something else. But it is being used to mean some of the popular defense forces that fought with the government of Sudan. We believe that those forces are very much, and we don't say 100%, are in the control of the government, and they are not the so-called Janjaweed.
But the Janjaweed people say that it's responsible for a lot of the violence, and that it is under the control of the government, that it could not operate the way it does without the government being party to it, part of it.
If they are talking again about those who are fighting on the side of the government, whom we call the Popular Defense Forces, in Darfur, they are from all different tribes. It is also true to say that most of them are from the Arab tribes, simply because most of the rebels are from the other tribes. So it is not that the government is supporting the Arab tribes to massacre or to fight the non-Arab tribes. They are all Sudanese, and we are all Africans.
The David Miliband, whom your foreign minister met yesterday, said, I'm particularly concerned, this was in February, I'm particularly concerned by reports of aerial bombardment by government of Sudan forces in Darfur. And in his recent statement, Gordon Brown said, in recent months fighting has intensified in Chad and Darfur, and the Sudanese government has bombed West Darfur, forcing people once again to flee their homes. That bombing has been undertaken in Darfur by the government. That's what the Prime Minister says.
They are speaking about a specific case where we had an invasion from the Jem rebel movement supported by Chadians into certain areas in Western Darfur. And the government of Sudan took its responsibility to regain these sites, and we have used all possible weapons we have, and we do not deny that, and we see nothing wrong with it.
I wanted to put this to you because it'll give you an opportunity to answer this, but the Channel 4 in Britain here, as you probably know, did a programme on March the 14th in which they interviewed someone called Mohammed Hamdan, who leader of probably 20,000 Janjaweed people. And he claimed that he met with your president, President al-Bashir, twice, once at Mr. Bashir's home, in order to receive orders to carry out campaigns in northern Darfur after they'd been taken by the Darfur rebels. Now, if that's true, if the president is that involved, then that would suggest that the Janjaweed is a branch of the government almost.
Well, I don't think anybody would think that His Excellency the President will need to meet with a militia leader. He has his system if he wants to do it. What we have been doing is we have open camps for recruitments of people to fight on the side of the Sudanese army, and we did recruit Arabs and non-Arabs, and this is what we call Popular Defense Forces or the border forces, and the president does not need to do it.
Kofi Annan could not understand why you wouldn't accept international aid when he was, this is when he was at the UN, and he said, you know, although things are out of control, the government refuses to take international aid. Is that still the position?
No, we have very good cooperation with almost very big number of NGOs. We are cooperating with World Food Program, and we are cooperating with USAID, and they are now donating some food to Darfur.
How could this be brought to an end? I mean, everybody says this situation can't continue in Darfur. I mean, how do you see peace coming? How would you say that peace could break out? And will it take years and years and years?
Well, it shouldn't. And I think we should all join hands to have peace as soon as possible. One way of doing this is to have the rebel movements all join hands, come to the negotiation table as one team, or at least as one negotiation team. If not united, the government is ready and has always been ready to come to negotiation. The other part of it is that peace in Darfur should not be linked always with the acceptance of the rebel to come for negotiations. We can establish peace by providing security. We can establish peace by helping people to go back to their villages and normalize their life, and that's what we are doing. And this is where we need the international assistance to help people normalize their life.
Because the President's Special Envoy to Sudan, Richard Williamson, you know, when he was talking this on the 23rd to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, it's those terrible incidents that come up that stick in people's minds and so on. He said at one point that this was a testimony of a survivor of the violence in Darfur. She said, Janjaweed militia and government soldiers attacked a primary school for girls, raping the pupils. Because I told people what happened, the authorities arrested me. They said, we will show you what rape is. They beat me severely. At night, 3 men raped me. The following day, the same thing, different men. Torture and rape every day, torture and rape. If that's happening every day, I mean, it's really urgent to stop it, isn't it?
Well, if at any rate it is happening, it has to be stopped. I really have my serious doubts about even this particular incident, but I assure you that there isn't such a number of cases that occur like she is trying to describe it. This is political propaganda, this is bilateral agenda, and these NGOs are making business in Darfur, and they would like to see the problem going on.
Well, we're very grateful to you for coming to join us, Dr. Nafie, and we pray, as everyone else does, that a solution is found, and urgently, to this situation in Darfur.
Well, thank you very much, and I'd like to invite you to come to Darfur yourself and see for your own self.
I would very much like to do that.
You're most welcome.
In a minute, the Foreign Minister of Serbia will be joining us after this short break.